News in just the last few minutes. Big news out of Stillwater. Mike Gundy is out as the head football coach at Oklahoma State University. Thanks for joining us. I'm Reagan Ledbetter.
And I'm Tatum Gwynn. This follows an incredibly lackluster start to the season this year and winning only one of their last dozen games going back to last season.
We want to bring in sports director John Holcomb immediately right now with what he's learned from his sources. John, no doubt, massive news in the college football world and here in Oklahoma.
You know, it's something that a lot of people across the country who follow college football have been keeping their eye on, though. And it's because of the win-loss record as much as anything else. The Cowboys, not that far removed, in fact, just a season and a half removed from an appearance in the Big 12 championship game where they lost to Texas, of course, down in Arlington at the end of the 2023 season. But losing 11 of your last 12, not being competitive at Oregon in the second game of the season, and then losing to an in-state rival, Tulsa, in Stillwater Friday night. Those are the last straws in what has been overall a remarkably consistent and successful career for Mike Gundy. Our sideline reporter, of course, you know, I do games on the Oklahoma State Cowboy Radio Network, and our sideline reporter, Robert Allen, who has been close with Mike Gundy since Mike played high school football at Midwest City, broke the news on his radio show in Stillwater just a few minutes ago, and it's not a surprise that he might find out from the head coach himself. But you make this move now, and it's all within the realm of what college athletics has become. This is a program, as so many others in college football, that needs more money for roster, more money for operations and that sort of thing. And Mike himself had mentioned that the week leading up to the Oregon game. And so now you're going to find out if there have been boosters who have said we will give money if there's a coaching change. You will find out pretty quickly if that's the case, you would think. Now, as for what this means moving forward for the Cowboys, who host Baylor in the Big 12 opener this Saturday, who takes over as interim head coach? Don't think at this point it will be either the coordinators. There's a likelihood that it could be special teams coordinator, well, I say offensive or defense coordinator, special teams coordinator Sean Snyder, Bill Snyder's son. Bill Snyder, of course, the successful coach at Kansas State for so many years. It might be Sean Snyder. It could be an analyst on the staff, Clint Bowen, who served as interim head coach at Kansas when Charlie Weiss was fired 11 years ago. So he's got experience in handling something like this in season. And Clint Bowen's son, Banks, is also the backup quarterback at OSU right now after being at the University of Tulsa last year. We expect a news conference this afternoon, maybe around 3:30, waiting on official word from the school.
John, it seems like this is all just a very strategic game of chess. You alluded to that and everything that you just said. What is this? What's the next move here? You have to wonder what the game is.
Well, if you're a college athletic director and you don't have a list of potential candidates for any job that you have, even if you have a successful head coach in a sport who's winning at the moment, then you're a step or two behind. So I'm sure that they have several people that they think would be a good fit. The fans obviously have their favorites of who they'd like to see come in, but this at least positions OSU to where you can start to have conversations, at least with intermediaries, of people that you think you might want as your next head coach. And then the other part of it, again, goes back to the money. Can you go to that person and say, here is what your war chest would be? Here is what we would have for you to be able to assemble a roster and get the people that you want in and the assistants that you want in. And so some people say earlier the better. In a traditional sense, it doesn't feel quite right when you're talking about the winningest coach in program history.
And lives and breathes Stillwater.
Exactly.
He's spent
2/3 of his life, you know, with OSU, either playing or coaching. You would love to have seen this, in a lot of ways, go all the way to the end of the season. But it's just typical of what we live in today.
It's all about money. It's the world of college athletics right now. It's all about money, and I think this could be a move that's really just calling on those boosters. All right, if you've got money and you want to help this program, we'll make this move. Show up.
Yeah, and there's one other thing to think about in this whole scenario, too. That Chad Weiberg, the athletic director at OSU, has been working without a contract now for several months. Now, the word that we're hearing is that it's just a matter of time, that he will have a new contract, perhaps a raise with that contract. Stability is a big thing during this time. You're in a sense of upheaval with your football program. How is this going to look? What's it going to look like for the Big 12 schedule? Because the Cowboys may not be favored in any game the rest of the season, but also in terms of your leadership, you'd like to have someone in place where whoever you try to get as your next head coach can talk to the AD and know that the AD is going to be there.
Yep, no doubt.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, just the very beginning of what I imagine will be a very long day. And we anticipate more information maybe this afternoon, word of a press conference coming at 3:30. We will learn a lot more then. John, thank you so much for being here and taking some time this afternoon. And we will have, of course, all of this information on our website, news on 6.com, the app, all things you want to know. It's all there.